What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Snowball coming back at you with another awesome video. Today's video we're going to be doing a little bit of a story time. It's been a while since I've done a story time, so yeah. This actually happened to me just a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to go ahead and share it with you guys. But before I do, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Make sure to smash that like button, make sure to comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be notified as to when I upload. Yes, I said it, upload. And I do apologize that we weren't able to go live this past Saturday. Like I said I was for the 12-hour stream. I literally lost internet and yeah. So yeah, I should have that back up and running this coming Friday. And I've actually got some major news for you guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the story, shall we? Now, to give you guys a perspective, you guys know that I'm one that likes to fly the Confederate flag. Well, I have this hat it says a rebel on it. I'll actually throw a picture up here. This is what it looks like, or this is what it actually is. So, that's what it looks like. I was wearing that. This happened a couple weeks ago, and my mom wanted me to go into town and turn in the old AT&T internet box since we are no longer through AT&T. So I'm like, alright, fuck it, I will. It was really warm out and everything, so I didn't want to really drive or anything, so I was going to take the bus everywhere. So I put the internet box, that morning I put the internet box into my book bag, and mind you, I've taken my book bag into town many times. So, and where the AT&T store is, we're just gonna say, well, fuck it, I'll say it. It's in front of the Walmart. So, yeah, that's where it's at, and we went in there. So, I was gonna go in there, and I had some errands to run anyways, so just go ahead and get it done while I'm in town. But yeah, I go into town, I put it in my book bag, and I head into town. Well, I ended up riding the bus all day, and for $1 a day, you can't beat that. For an all-day pass, you can't beat that, so first, I went to the AT&T store, which apparently you cannot turn the internet box into the AT&T store. You have to fucking send it by mail and all that bullshit, and it's a pain in the ass. But nevertheless, whatever, fuck it. So, I walk from AT&T over to Walmart to wait for the bus, because the bus goes right in front of Walmart. So, I go in Walmart, it's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get me something to eat and drink while I'm in there. So I walk towards the back. I get me a Lunchable and a Coke. So I walk in there, and as I was walking to the back to get my Lunchable, this Karen, decides to tell me how it's wrong to wear the fucking Confederate flag like that. And normally I don't get involved. Usually I just ignore. But I wanted to kind of express my feelings and opinion that day. So I'm like, ma'am, do you actually know the true meaning behind the Confederate flag? And she's like, yeah, I do. It stands for slavery and racism. I'm like, no, ma'am, it doesn't. And I tried to explain to her what it actually means and everything, and she didn't want to have anything to do about it. So I go. I wasn't gonna get into an argument or anything. It's like, okay, whatever, you believe what you want, fuck it. You're just an ignorant piece of shit anyways. So, fat piece of ignorant shit anyways. So, I go ahead and I walk off. I grab my Lunchable and my Coke, and I walk and pay for my stuff. I pay for it, and I go into where they keep the carts and all that stuff at, and they've got benches in there. So I sit down on the bench and I start eating my Lunchable and everything. And all of a sudden, security comes, about 5 minutes later, security comes through the doors and is like, I need to speak with you. I'm like, I already knew he was security. I just knew he was security. But I'm like, what the fuck for? And he's like, I'll explain to you when you come with me. I'm like, I'm not going with you until you fucking tell me what's going on. He's like, if you don't come with me, I will have you arrested. I'm like, okay. So I ended up going with him and everything. We go in the back and everything, and he tells me that an informant said that I stuck the coke into my jacket pocket. And to let y'all know, I'm not one to steal like that. So this Karen went out of her way to tell security that I stuck the coke in my pocket just to try to get back at me. And I didn't. I didn't even look like I did. And I told the security guard, I'm like, no, I paid for this coke. I can show you the receipt. He's like, no need. He's like, I've got all the information I need. I'm like, no, you don't. I can show you that I paid for it. He's like, well, I need to strip search you. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. You have no authority to strip search. I'm like, you touch me, I'll lay your fucking ass out. And he's like, well, we're just going to have to call the police then. I'm like, then fucking call them. And he grabbed my bag, started searching through it, which I don't care. They have a right to search through it. He sees that I had a Powerade in there as well, which I brought from home. So he's like, what's this Powerade doing in here? He's like, so you're stealing Powerades now, huh? I'm like, no, I'm not stealing anything. That's what I had in there when I left home. So he's accusing me of a lot of shit, even the internet box, and I try to explain it to him. I'm like, you can look at this fucking security cameras and see that I went nowhere near the electronic department or where the Powerades are at. I went straight from where the oatmeal cream pies were to go get my Lunchable, and then up front to go get my Coke, and left. So, and luckily, well, I'll explain that one in a second, but he's like, we're just going to have to go ahead and call the police down here and see what they have to say about it. I'm like, go for it. And I told him, once they see that I didn't steal shit, then I'm going to end up fucking pressing charges for harassment. And I'm like, what is this all about? He's like, your people tends to steal a lot. I'm like, my people? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you referring to my Confederate flag hat? He's like, yeah. He's like, you just look like you're fucking trouble. So I just laugh it off. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for the actual police to come. So, ends up, it took about 20 minutes for the police to come, which, no biggie. They had bigger priorities to handle than to handle this situation, which I get. So, finally the police show up, and he asked the security guard what's going on, and security told him, that he caught me stealing and everything. Stealing a Coke and a Powerade and an internet box, which, aren't the internet boxes technically locked up? I'm pretty sure that they're locked up. And I don't think they even have internet boxes, but anything of major value, they're going to have locked up. So, he looks at me, and I told him, I'm like, no, sir, I have the receipt for the Coke. The internet box came from home. You can call my mom if you need to. She just wanted me to return it, and AT&T will not accept it, will not take it back. I have to have it sent by mail. He's like, okay, so you have a receipt for the Powerade and for the Coke and Lunchable. I'm like, not the Powerade. I brought the Powerade from home. I forgot I had it in my book bag, but yeah. So, I'm like, you can check the security cameras and see that I went nowhere near the Powerades or even the electronic side of it, electronic department. And he ends up looking at the security cameras, looked at my receipt and everything, and saw that I did not fucking steal anything, and saw that I was nowhere near. And he's like, okay, we're good to go. He's like, we're not going to arrest you. And before all this, I forgot to mention, he did take and pat me down and everything. And I had a knife on me, which, okay, whatever. And he ends up telling me that I'm free to go. And I asked for the store's manager. I wanted to speak to the store's manager about it. I'm usually not one to talk to the manager, but this was a situation where I felt like it needed to be addressed. And the manager needed to be aware of that security is actually harassing people. So, and when I asked for the manager's name, security's like, well, I'm going to just have you fucking banned from here, trespass from here. And the cop looks at him, he's like, sir, you better shut the fuck up before we end up pressing charges on you. He's like, security's like, what the fuck for? And the cop looked at him and is like, well, for starters, illegal detainment. And I'm like, oh yeah, he tried to strip search me as well. He's like, really? He's like, you can't do that. So ended up, the security guard ended up going extremely quiet, and I've never seen, you could hear fucking crickets. And I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna press charges. It is what it is. So, but next time, look at the evidence before you assume. So I end up leaving, and I did call the store manager, and the store manager said that they would handle it and everything, and that they're sorry that that happened to me. And did anything happen to the security guard? Probably not, because they want to protect their fucking own. But it is what it is. So I know this. But yeah, that's the time I about got arrested for wearing a Confederate flag hat. So if you enjoyed this story, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to try to do some more story times. I've got a few more that I want to let y'all know about, what's been going on and everything. Make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to check out our social media pages. The links are always down in the description below. As always, you guys know the drill. So, yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know what happened the time I about got arrested for wearing a Confederate flag hat. And, yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and leave on that note. And I will be going live. I'll be starting to go live again this coming week. I don't know I should be getting internet back this coming Friday, I believe. So yeah, I should be is the key word. Should. That is if there's no more hiccups or glitches in the plan. And for as far as the 12-hour stream, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, because I had to end up requesting that off from work, time off of work. So yeah, it's a big mess. But I am going to be doing something for New Year's Eve. I've already requested New Year's Eve off, and yeah. So anyways, until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.